Welcome back everybody to another Minecraft video, back on the single player Let's Play series world. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all having a really good day. I'm having a super good day. I had a idea for what we're going to do today's episode, but I wanted to give proper credit where credit's due. I got the idea from a guy called Mango. He's a very, very, very good YouTuber from Germany. It's ILMANGO, Mango. Guy is genius redstone technical player. He made a really awesome dirt farm today, and so it got me thinking, which you should check out, by the way. Maybe I'll put a link in the description. Anyway, it was getting me thinking that, you know, one of the big things holding us back, pretty much the biggest thing holding us back from expanding this area, is gathering the freaking resources, because we just need so much grass and so many leaves and so many everything. So man, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately about how we can automate some of these things that we've got here, especially the grass. That's like the number one thing, and that's what got me thinking about it, that video today that I watched, the dirt farm, which came out today for me in you know, time travel when I'm recording this, but it should be out for you already as well. But yeah, so one of the thoughts is I need to make a grass farm, right? That's like priority number one, because we got to keep expanding the grass in this area to lay like the framework for the rest of everything. So that's kind of like step number one. So I had an idea of how I was going to do it. I had something figured out, kind of just in my head conceptually. So we're going to try that out today. First issue is I don't know where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to walk around a little bit and try and think of a cool spot for it. I had a kind of an idea about maybe putting it in one of these tunnels that we were working on, which we will walk through, give you a little update. First of all, I wanted to come up here, because I was thinking about maybe making it up here, but it doesn't really seem, I think I'm going to connect this down into these things. It just doesn't seem appropriate. It'd be cool though. So let's go into here, check out what I've been working on in between episodes. We've been adding a little bit more to our, just the detail stuff. I'm not really too keen on this, but yeah, so we've got a little room here for our TNT that we've been keeping. This is totally realistic too. This is just like in real life. You know, when people have mines and they have lots of TNT, they store it near the entrance, but just inside where it's like cool and dark and stuff. So I should actually make it dark in here. Probably take this and change it so it's dark. Yeah. You don't want a creeper spawning in there, so maybe we'll put something to prevent them from spawning, like some slabs. That's probably a really good idea. Anyway, that's our TNT room. So yeah, let's keep moving on. So I was talking a lot about this in the last episode. This is the ore chute, and if you haven't seen, go back and watch that video because it was pretty funny. The beginning was ridiculous, but we actually talked about some cool stuff later on about this, just the lore and stuff, the story behind all this, you know, all this mining operation. So I got a little bit of stuff piled up here on top of the chute, like it's left over. This is the gate that they would use. It wouldn't open down like this. If it was 110, it would open up, and this stuff would fall into the minecart, and then they'd take it. Pretty cool. Yeah, so I added a little bit of thing down there. I added this crazy hole. It's really hard to see. Probably almost impossible to see for you guys, but there's like a rope hanging down. There's like a fake tunnel down there that it goes to. Yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, I've just been working on like slabbing things and like trying to make it flow nicely. Anyway, so that was that. I kind of was just working on it. It's still not done, but it's a lot closer. So I'm gonna wander around, poke some holes, and try and find a cool place for this, because this is going to be really big, and I want it to be hidden because I don't want to build a big box. So I'll be right back when I figure out a good place to put this. I saw you. I saw you. Come here. Oh, stupid flower. Okay, so I think I know what we're gonna do. Okay, so over here by the fern farm, did a little bit of work on the grass, so it's kind of like blended in a little more. I think man, that made a huge difference. Still yet to put trees over here yet though. Gotta farm me up some more leaves. So anyway, I was thinking about putting it right here. We've got this interesting little area. I was walking around and I saw this. So I was like, it's just kind of like screaming for like a doorway. And and like a little secret room. So here's my plan. So we're gonna dig out a square here, and we're gonna make a super big room, like really big. It's probably gonna be rectangular. I think it's just gonna go straight back, like pretty far, and it's gonna be about this wide. We might open it up a little bit once we're inside. I think that, okay. So I've got this design in my head, right? And it's just super long. It can be as long as you want. It could be infinitely long, but it takes up like probably this amount of space. So we're gonna have to go this far on the left and this far on the right. So we got to make sure we've got enough room, which it doesn't look like. So maybe we'll just do one of them. I was thinking about making a wings and do one on each side, but I think we might just stick with one, which will probably be on this side. Yeah. So anyway, I want to dig about this big of a hole, and I'm thinking we could probably put a cool redstone door into here. So I'm gonna like, yeah. I'm getting a bunch of ideas. So I'm just gonna make a big space for us right here to start with. So when we build our redstone door, we got plenty of room to work with. But then after I get like, like this kind of space dug out, I think I'm going to, well, we want it to be an odd number probably as well. So let's do a little bit more this side. And then, as you could probably see, we gotta do some TNT blasting. So one way that I've done this in the past is you just go back a bunch of blocks like this. Now you can't see anything, but just give me 1 second. Let's place some of these down. And usually you want to put a block underneath them, so let's use dirt. And then let's see, 1, 2, and then on the third one, let's try that out. I haven't done this in a pretty long time. Let's try that out. Let's block it in just so it's a little bit more safe. See what that does. Oh, it's exciting. I love TNT. Okay, that's not... Nope, that was not doing what I wanted it to do. Close. But I think that was a little bit too crazy. Okay. Yeah, we gotta be careful because we're gonna get to our mining area soon. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna keep blasting away. I'm gonna keep digging this tunnel. Bring it back when we've got a little bit more to work with. Got some space to slap this thing together. This should work a little better. Oh. Get it. Nice. Oh yeah, look at that. Much better. I figured I would do just a simple grass farm just to get the idea of how this kind of thing works, and then maybe in the future we could figure out a way to automate it more than we are now. Because right now this is super simple, like super simple, almost pointlessly simple, but it's fun. And yeah, I just had this idea, so I had to at least try it, you know what I mean? So here's what I'm thinking. I think we're gonna need 1 meow and 1 meow. Yeah. Try that. Okay, so that does not look very nice, but that's how we're gonna have to do it. Oh, and then yeah, so I dug back to here and I ran into this hole. This goes back to our mining tunnel. You can see this crazy thing I was doing. Got like a little fake tunnel down there that it goes to. Yeah, anyway, can't go too much farther that direction, obviously, because of that thing. I want to get like, man, this is about the absolute smallest that I could possibly imagine making this thing. So let's just do one more, just because we're trying to squeeze as much as we can into here. Let's just do one more of these. Okay, so let me quit rambling and show you how this is working before I destroy everything, all this amazing stuff I've built up there. Okay, so as you can see, there are these water streams. Stop. Thank you. That are pushing you along, and this is the only automation that we're going with, just because we don't need very much more, because this is, you know, it's not going to be used very often. This is what I'm thinking is like, whenever I want to do some expanding, there's going to be like a little area that I want to cover in grass. So like I'll just come in here, I'll go bam, 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 I'll get some grass, and that way I won't have to worry about it being super efficient, because it's not like I'm going to use it all the time. So let's see here. Okay. So we're gonna stand. Let's pretend like we're gonna do this. We're gonna stand here. I'm going to get aligned as far back as we can. So we got 5 blocks. It's really hard, but there we go. So now that we're aligned, we can hold the button down. You can see we placed all 5 blocks. So now if we look a little bit left and then get into the water, hold the button down. There we go. So this is just obviously a simple way to place down a bunch of blocks. It's not automated because you can only place down a stack at a time. Oh, and those are not supposed to be signs. Okay, so let's change this. This is why we test. This is supposed to be pressure plate. Put you there. Yeah, so this way you can place over it, but it doesn't prevent, or it prevents the water, and you can still get the blocks later when you come by. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, so that's how this is going to work, is you're going to just sit there and place down all of those. And what's probably going to happen, so without making it too complicated, because we could do this whole redstone thing where it gives us a stack when we run out. You know what I mean? So we'll never run out of dirt, but I don't think I'm going to try and figure that out in such a small little space. It's kind of pointless. So anyway, place all the dirt down. Then it's going to grow to grass because of some conveniently placed grass blocks. So let's figure out where those are going to go. I think that what I want to do is I want to have probably evenly spaced out. So what about there and there? Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. So we're going to need an air block above the grass, because these are going to be the grass blocks. So we can't have anything in this spot. So we're going to need a little bit of space up here, it looks like. I'm going to have to dig out a little bit more ceiling. But then we're going to want grass up here. Perfect. And probably some light as well. And then dig that out. Alright, so let's leave that there. Maybe we'll get a demonstration. Ooh, we'll take this out too so we don't get any cross seeding. But that should grow the grass. If you didn't know, grass can actually skip an air block and grow up and down and stuff like that. And it's all crazy, but it does work. So we'll just leave that there for a second. Hopefully it will grow. We will see it happen. But yeah, so you can see what I'm going to do here though. I'm just going to repeat this grass this direction. Obviously got to dig the ceiling out, but then this is going to be like our cedar grass for like the entire farm. And so there'll always be grass blocks to seed the thing, so we can rip it all out and not worry about having to, replace the grass blocks. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let me finish this up. Actually, well, I guess there might be a couple more things that we gotta talk about real quick. Yeah, so that reminds me, I was about to leave you and I just remembered what I was gonna say. So yeah, so about the automation aspect of this, like, it's really inefficient. But I talked a little bit about it already because we don't need it to be very good. But there are also a lot of limitations as to how, as to what we can do here. Obviously the farm that I saw today from El Mango, oh, there we go. So the grass grew. You can see that, so that works. Anyway, the farm that he was doing, it was a dual wielding farm. And so, the whole reason I'm doing this is because I want to figure out a way to get dirt, like AFK, without having to dig it. But I really can't think of any way that I would be able to do that. So if you guys got any ideas, I'd be more than willing to try and figure it out. I just literally have zero idea as to how I'd be able to do that on console without dual wielding, and without making it super complicated. Because pretty much what's going to happen, no matter what, is you're going to have to be conscious of your tool and the blocks and stuff in your inventory. You're gonna have to be switching consciously, pretty much no matter what. And that's because of the way that we don't have dual wielding, so we can't do 2 tasks at once. We can only do 1 task at a time. Yeah, so my idea was maybe we built one of these and it was just insanely long, so you could AFK for a half an hour and you wouldn't even make it to the end in that amount of time, right? So that way you could AFK for a half hour planting, and then you could AFK for a half hour harvesting. So that's kind of the idea. If you really wanted to make this AFK, that's how you would do it, but it would take it obviously an obscene amount of time. Yeah, so I think that this is working out better for what we need, because we don't need something ridiculous. And like I said, in the future I'll definitely do more experimentation and figure out maybe a way to make this fully automatic, you know what I mean? That would be amazing. Ilmango is using like the TNT and stuff, and like blowing up block 36 so it saves the block. And oh man, it's super technical. I can't figure that out just yet. Anyway, let's think about this a little bit more. I'm gonna want probably more blocks to make it look nice. But there's one last step here, is we need to put the water in. And so my thought was I wanted to have, let's see, we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want water in this block, but we can't put a source block there. Well, I guess we could. Yeah. Let's just do that. Skip one so we can save a little ice. Yeah, so let's try this out. Let's break all these with my Silk Touch pickaxe. Dang it! Okay, let's see what happens here. So you can see how the water is going into our water stream and messing everything up. So we're gonna fix that. I just remembered. Got a way to fix it. So let's break all these. You can see how this water is gonna interact. I also probably need some blocks here. These will probably be glass, but just temporarily, like that. Actually, we want those to be here, now that I think about it. Yeah. Okay. So we've got this going on. So then we need to come back on this side of things. And we got to place a sign on every single one of these blocks. So this will keep the water from going over. There we go. All right, cool. So now you can see what's going on. I also would like to probably remove this. And maybe even put like a pressure plate or something. Yeah, let's do a couple of these guys. See what I'm doing in a second, because I want to be able to line up before I go into the water stream, so I'm not wasting space. So maybe we could do something like that. I had this idea in my head, but it wasn't completely finished conceptually. So we're figuring it out here on camera. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what's going to happen? Let's see. Okay, so we can angle ourselves on this block. We don't have to do it on that block. Don't have to worry about that. Oh, it's kind of hard, but yeah, once we get into there, let's get ready. Get some dirt. So then we can get into the water. We can hold the button down. We will place all of our dirt. Let's make it to those, that little pressure plate, or where I stopped making the, yeah. Let's make it over here. So you can see we're still placing blocks in there, which is perfect. All right, so that's how that works. So now what we do is, after we're done, we'll come back over to here, get our shovel out, get back into position, just look forward, hold it, and then you can see the water is actually pushing all the dirt right to us. So if we aim a little bit ahead of us, just a little bit, then we should be able to catch most of those. Obviously, if I made that out of ice, we would definitely be able to catch them all. So if I can't figure it out, we might change it to ice. But if not, I mean, it's not a big deal. With Depth Strider, you can just run back through it, collect everything. So yeah, that's how this works. I'm going to probably finish it, so we got something to look at. I will be right back. Okay guys, so I think I got quite a bit done here. I think it's turned out pretty cool. We got a little bit of an entrance. It's nothing special. None of this stuff here is too thought out. It's just real like slapped together, because I'm probably going to keep changing this as I use it. I very well could find a better way to do this and rip the whole thing out. So I just wanted to keep it simple, so that wasn't too difficult to do. Didn't feel too bad about it, I should say. Anyway, yeah, I figured I would just leave a little bit of the natural vibe in here too, because that kind of makes sense. But anyway, let's try this out. Well, I guess before I do, I wanted to think about one more thing. So I think one of the limitations about this farm, this block can't be here. I'm gonna have to change that, because this that wouldn't have let me up. Could a slab go there? Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna have to swap those two blocks. But anyway, one of the limitations of here is that it's gonna have to rely on how fast the grass can grow, obviously. So we want it to be really lit up, which I don't think I did a very good job of. So we're gonna try and figure out how to put some more lights in here. Obviously, we need lights up on this level, so maybe we should pop them in like right here. So I'll just do what I did on the other one. I'll do every other block. We'll do a light like this, and I won't have to fill in the blocks in between, because you can't see it when you're in here anyway. See that? It doesn't matter. So that'll add a little bit more light. But I think the more light we can get, the better, and the more grass blocks in here we can get, the better. But if you look at this, I can't put them down here because the water is always there. I can't put them here because I want that to be stone. I want it to not look like dirt. I don't want you to get confused and stuff, you know. I want it to be very clear which is the one that you want to harvest. I can't put it here because this is too far away. Yeah, so this is pretty much the only place grass can grow. But anyway, let's try this out how it is right now. That sign is in the way, so still tweaking stuff, but let's just hold the button. So this is pretty cool. So a couple more things I need to mention. If you guys are planning on like trying to build something like this, or even building something that just uses this concept of moving you around in the water, something that's very important that you need to keep in mind. Let's stop for a second. Come on. Let me stop. Can I crouch? There we go. So we got Aquafinity, which means we can place blocks while our head is in the water. And we got Depth Strider 3, which means that we're going to be moving at this rate. And so if you don't have those things, it's not going to work the same for you. So just a little disclaimer. So let's let this... I'm gonna place all these blocks down. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna place all these blocks down. Then we're gonna let it grow. We're gonna harvest it. We're gonna see how much we got from like one thing, which looks like about a stack and a half, which is not very nice, not very good. Let's just look at this real quick though on our way back. Oh yeah, it's working pretty fast. So you can see how the roof is seeding it pretty quickly with all the light and stuff. So cool. So I'll be back in a minute when this grows. I'll chop it down and then I'll move on to the next thing we're gonna work on before the end of the episode. Well, it's been about like 3 minutes or so, I would say. So it seems about, yeah, seems about a couple minutes to get most of it grown back. Another thing I realized is this little thing can actually double as a grass farm, like the other kind of grass as well. Check this out. So you come through here, you plant a bunch of grass, like only takes a couple bone meal, you got the whole thing full of grass. And then what you could do is you can use shears and you can walk through here and you can shear all of that stuff. Right, see where I'm getting? So now you got a bunch of grass hanging out on there. And then you come back through and hold down the button. Pretty cool. And so one of the concepts here is that you can move on your own. And with Depth Strider, you can move really fast, as you can see. But something that I always like to try and do, and remember, this is just a test. I'm just testing this out. Like, this is not something that I'm like, oh my god, guys, check this tutorial out. I'm going to show you the best method on how to make a grass farm. No, I'm just experimenting. And so one thing that's probably painfully obvious is that I could do this a lot faster by just going and tearing out grass somewhere else. But that's not really the point. The point is I want something renewable. You know, another point is that a lot of the time when I'm playing this game, I'm not actually playing the game, you know what I mean? Like, I'm actually doing other things. Let's rip that out because it's kind of frustrating. Let's leave it like that for now. Yeah, one of the things I do a lot is I AFK. Like, a lot. All of my farms I build are AFK, and so that's what I just try and do, like, pretty much as I can. Whenever I think about it, whenever I can find a way to do it like that, that's what I do. And so for here, for example, like I would rubber band my button down. That's probably the way I would do it, because I'd probably be doing this like 50 times in a row if I needed, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do a major grass expansion, like I'm gonna do this over and over and over again, or at least a couple times in a row. And so waiting for it to grow, planting everything down, it's more efficient. The actual proper word of the term efficient, to just be able to hold down the button and not move around left and right, because all of that time built up of misplacing blocks and having to go back and break them and walk back and fight the water, that'll add up if you're doing it like 20 times. So if you just got a way to just sit there and you can like watch a TV show or watch a different YouTube video, you know what I mean, like while you're just holding the button, man, that's pretty much the definition of efficiency. So crazy busy today. There's like cars driving by. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's a grass farm. Let me know what you thought about that. If you got any better ideas, like, oh man, I'd love to hear them. But like I said, keep in mind that the whole point of this is really just to make it like I was talking about, AFKable, so we could just sit in one place and do nothing. Because I like to be like that in this game. Extremely lazy. Anyway, I was planning on moving on and doing something else. Oops. For the rest of this episode, but it's taken a long time to build this, and I've just been talking and having tons of fun, so I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make it up to you. I'm gonna end the episode here, but we're gonna make an episode come out a little quicker than they usually do to make up for it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna get back to doing some more stuff. I'm gonna record the next video today because I'm super awesome like that. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Till next time, everybody. I hope you have a really fantastic day. Let me know, like I said, what you think about the grass farm. See you in the next video. Bye bye.